Happy Monday and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. I'm Anthony Tochi, joined for the third time ever on this show. Third time ever by the one, the only, Jalin Conyers.
It's Corn.
You're right. Jalin Corn. What's your middle name?
We're not disclosing that on the show.
Come on.
No, I don't tell anyone my middle name.
What's it start with?
S.
An S.
Starts with an S.
An S.
If you guess it, if someone guesses it, I'll literally give you $20.
$20?
Someone that, if I see their name and I know who you are, it doesn't count. But if you can guess it, I'll give you. I'll Venmo you $20.
Damn. Okay. Well, I guess that's the incentive for the show today. Just see if you can guess.
Yes, my
Jalen's middle name in the comments for the next 45 minutes. See if make yourself some money. Jalin, before we get into all the stuff we've got for today, I know you've got some rants that we're going to get into. You're going to be helping just, I guess, explain a little bit of your story. But just first and foremost, man, you got 9 Saturdays left until college football starts. How excited are you, man?
I'm very excited. It's kind of crazy. You told me just now, and I was like, 9? Like, 9 is not a lot. That's not. We're not even double digits anymore. So 9 Saturdays away from finally being back in Sun Devils Stadium in front of fans. So, you know, it's really exciting. I'm excited. We're already getting into the back half of the summer and turning into Pac-12 Media Day, turning into fall camp, turning into season. So it's coming up quick, but I'm excited.
Are they having you go to that? Because I know they don't have everybody go for Pac-12 Media Day. I know they have usually quarterbacks and that type of stuff. Are you going to be going?
They have 2 of us going to Pac-12 Media Day. I'm not sure exactly who it is yet, but hopefully I'll get to go. I mean, obviously, if I do go, I'll hopefully represent Sun Devil Nation well, but I would love to go. But, you know, if I get picked, I'm definitely going to go. I'm definitely going to take advantage of it.
Kenny's going to be like, nah, we're not.
I know. Kenny's watching this. He's like, nah, not after that. I'm like, bro, nah.
Also,
you got to have corn there.
I saw for the first time, what is that on your phone?
It's a Burrito Express sticker.
But that's you.
Yeah, it's me.
Let me see this shit.
It's me. They made a Burrito Express sticker of me.
Awesome. Have you seen this? This is fucking awesome.
It's a sticker of me.
It's a sticker of him with like a BE arm wrap.
BE arm wrap, BE jersey.
And there's BE on the helmet. Oh, and it says, oh my God.
Tough. Elite. Burrito Express Elite. I literally just tweeted about it, bro. I went and got 2 breakfast supremes before I came up here and a drink. Now I'm drinking my sweet tea.
We need to tell Max that we need stickers. We need podcast stickers ASAP.
That'd be sick.
Or just get one of you doing it.
We sell stickers, right, Totri?
Yeah, I know we sell stickers, man, but I'm not on a sticker.
When can I get my PHNX sticker then?
Yeah. We've got stickers in the office. You can have
what?
Yeah,
plenty of my thing, bro. Yeah, what? I want a sticker.
Well, we've got stickers of like other things, not necessarily everything.
Oh, okay. It's all right though.
Yeah, when we get a sticker for your podcast, we'll let you know.
I'll be excited for that.
Jalin, I want to get into a little bit just about your journey to where you're at now. Obviously, aspirations to be in the NFL, that type of stuff. For any of the recruits, because I've seen you, I know Bryce Pierre, Messiah Swinson. At least when it came to one specific recruit. But when these recruits like come out here, what is like your message to them aside from the recruiting thing? Like take that away from them trying to come to Arizona State. Like what's your biggest piece of advice to those kids?
I think the number one thing I try to tell people is go somewhere that you feel comfortable and that you feel like you can build great relationships. Don't go to a place where you're starstruck by all the lights and the glamour and the name of the school and all that. Like for me, I'm a kind of a victim of it. Like I went to OU, it was close to home. Obviously, OU is a big school. They have a really good, obviously good football program, and it's kind of like, hey, man, this is probably just a place where I'm assuming I'm going to be happy. I'm assuming I'm going to get done what I want to get done. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, that's not what happened. And then obviously coming here, transferring here, I learned what it was like to be happy, what it was like to have fun playing football, what it was like to be around a good group of guys and a good group of coaches to build a good relationship with and be excited about football, coming to practice every day. So I think the number one thing I chased with was be genuine, be honest, ask a bunch of questions. And a lot of times, like, to be honest with you, like all the coaches, their job is to recruit you. Their job is to say anything and everything to get you to want to come to that school. Yeah. So at the end of the day, like if you come to me, you're going to get the real from me, the good, the bad, the ugly, the perfect. So at the end of the day, like that's what I like to try to tell people, just like, hey, man, like at the end of the day, go somewhere where you know or think you're going to be happy. Don't go somewhere you're just going there because you think it fits your image or whatever. So
I feel like that's a tough, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but like I feel like that's a tough thing to find, especially I know you mentioned you started obviously at OU, but when you're a high schooler, right, you're a senior, you're a junior, going through this process, obviously if you are a high level recruit, you have 20, 30, 40, 50 schools trying to recruit you. Like I feel like it's a real challenge for some of these kids, obviously dealing with everything that they're dealing with already at the high school level. Like you remember being in high school, the shit that you got to go through. But like trying to find a place where you feel comfortable and that you can like trust it. I feel like that's tough.
Right. Yeah, no, it's hard because I think the biggest thing with now is like even with NIL included into all this, like the biggest thing is like, where am I going to get money? Where am I going to play? Where am I going to be the coach are going to love me and want to pick me over other people? Like, I think it's just so political now that you have to be careful where you go. I think the cool thing about ASU that Coach Kenny is like brought on is like, hey, I'm going to be honest with you and I'm going to tell you straight up what the truth is. And if you don't agree with it, if you don't like it, then don't come here. So, I mean, obviously the message with him is just like, hey, you're coming to a place where it's a very populated area, a lot of things you can do, a lot of opportunities outside of football, and it's a great place to come play football, and it's a great place to be, obviously, the weather, and just everything is, like, honest. He's be straight up honest with these recruits, and a lot of them, like, I think the biggest red flag, I guess, in my opinion, is if a recruit's coming in and saying, all right, what's your NIL look like? What's your money look like? Like, if you don't want to be at that school, if you're just there for the money, then you might as well go somewhere else. You might as well keep going in because Kenny's not going to offer anyone $500,000, $200,000 to come to the program. No, like realistically, there's not very many schools doing that. Even if they say they are, they're not really doing it. It's just one of those things where like you have to be honest with yourself and you got to trust your thought and you got to trust your family and you got to trust like what you're going with in your gut to pick the right school you want to go to.
When you were in that like recruiting process, obviously NIL wasn't like a thing when you were going through that whole thing. Was there any specific moments for you like during that recruiting process, and you don't need to mention like schools or coaches or whatever, that were just like it's immediate where you're like, yeah, this isn't the place?
I mean, I think so. I think there were schools that, you know, when you look at, obviously you got Twitter, you got Instagram, you got all those things. When you look at schools and you're like, all right, what does their program look like on the outside? Looking on the outside, looking in, like when you're looking at it. And there's some schools I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd fit in there. I don't think I'd like it. Like I already got, there were a lot of those schools I got that vibe from. A lot of them were up in the north because it was cold. And I was like, you know, I don't want to go play in the cold, to be honest with you. So like, that's our, like even this little stuff like that I thought of. So it's one of those things that I had just been thinking about. And then, I mean, for me, I think the craziest part about it was the schools that you thought liked you, and then all of a sudden you show them a little bit less attention, or a transfer spot opens, or a bigger recruit decommits. Like sometimes you can be forgotten and you're completely on the back burner. Like,
and they just pull the offer.
Well, yeah, it's not even pulling the offer. It's just like, man, like if, for example, if I'm the number 5 tight end in the country, if the number 1 tight end decommits, like they're back all over him. Yeah. They're not really worried about me at that point because they're like, oh yeah, he's our backup. Like, I mean, that's kind of just how it is. That's real life. I mean, it's the same way with being the starter and being the second string and third string. You kind of just got to eat it and live with it. So there are definitely those moments. I feel like, I mean, again, I think I made the best decision for me. I think everything happens for a reason. So I think my path has been the way it's supposed to be. But yeah, it's definitely a choice. Like, you know, when you're in high school, you're 17, 18 years old and you feel like you're having to make an option for the rest of your life. It's tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Was there like a moment for you in high school where you're like, okay, I know I can take this shit to the next level? Like where you just had like a game, a play, whatever, where you just like dominated so bad that you were like, yeah, I'm built like that.
Honestly, through my junior year of the football season in high school, I was really the second receiver. We had a dude named Creed Spivey. He was like really the number 1 receiver. He's fast, athletic. We're both like, and like that was my first year really playing receiver. I played quarterback at my other school 2 years before that. So that was still kind of getting acclimated. He got hurt going into the playoffs, and they're like, hey, we kind of need you to take a bigger like step as like a player. And I was like, all right, yeah, just let me know. And like, whatever, like obviously being a team player, quote unquote, and stuff. So I remember going into the playoffs and thinking like, oh yeah, I'm probably going to go from about 5 to 6 catches a game, probably to like 7 or 8, and 7 or 8 really turned into 12 to 15, like to where they're like, dude, like fourth down, we're coming to you. And I think, yeah, no, literally. And I think the game that really opened up the opportunity was honestly the state championship game where we got beat so bad. We got beat like 70 to 30 in the state championship.
So Southern Utah.
No, literally. Like we were, well, first of all, we weren't supposed to make it to state. We were an underdog. We went to the state championship. We're playing a team that had won the year before in a bigger conference, but they had just gotten smaller. So they went down a level into our level, and we ended up playing them and got beat really bad. But I had a crazy good game. I think I had like 12 receptions, 200 something yards, 4 touchdowns, something like that. And that was kind of why I was like, dang, like even like, and like no offense to my team at all in high school, but we just weren't the better team, honestly. And I was just a better athlete than some of the kids on the other side. That was when I was kind of like, you know what? Like, I think if I took football serious, I could turn into something. I didn't really have that intention. But obviously when I got my first offer and then the second one and they just started rolling off, I was like, all right, maybe this is something I should look into. And obviously it ended me up where I'm at now. So.
And now you're here and now you're one of the best tight ends in the entire country. and the NFL at some point, right?
Hopefully,
that's the
absolutely.
aspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy because I remember growing up and my dream was I didn't care what sport it was. Whether it was an NFL, NBA, MLB, like I just wanted to be a pro athlete because I grew up doing that. And from about probably 6th grade to probably about my junior year of high school, I was full on basketball. I'm going to go to the NBA. I'm going to be that type of player. I'm going to go to
Phoenix Sun.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Texas Tech. I'm going to go to hoop there. I'm going to go to Kansas hoop there and be a one and done. Like that was my plan. And it kind of hit me at the end of my junior year when I was like football. I was like, you know what? Football may be the better route to take just based on the offers I get and the type of attention I'd be getting. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, like my size, when I looked at my size compared to NBA guys, I was like, man, there's a lot of guys in the NBA that are probably way more skilled than me in my same size. And like, why, I'd have to develop. So football was the way to go. And then after that, like I got to OU and I was like, all right, like I didn't really think much about the NFL, honestly. Cause for me, I was like, I got to OU and I was like, all right, I got to figure out how to be a football player. Cause I was still a basketball player. Yeah. And I was like, all right, I got to figure out how to be a straight up football player and straight up everything. And I learned a little bit. Then I came here and I really started to get the hang of things. And I think it really hit me last year. After I'd probably say honestly after the U of A game. After U of A game.
Really? That late?
Yeah. And like, I mean, even after the Colorado game, I was like, you know what? Like I still have a lot to prove. Like I was like, I mean, I can't just do this one game. Like that was what, even though what the coach was telling me, like, hey, don't let this be like a one game thing. So I think that was the biggest thing. And then after the U of A game, I remember obviously I was very sad that we lost the game. I was sitting on the bus and I mean, I kind of just had a conversation with the coach and but he was just like, dude, he's like, you have no idea how good you could be. Like they're like, and honestly, that was based off like my practice level, my diet, like all that stuff. They're just like, bro, like if you take some of these next things to the next level, like bro, like you could be the best tight end. And like I think what really woke me up was like, bro, like you're doing what Brock Bowers does in a worse conference. That's the only reason you don't get looked at. And I was like, I mean, I didn't really believe him. Then obviously go and watch film and stuff. Like I think I played very, very similar to him. So it was like, dang, like I think I could be that type of level of guy. So that's kind of been my mindset going into the season. It's like I'm gonna prove to people that I'm that type of player and that I can be that good. Just against him. Like
your body of work too. Like whether that be the Colorado, U of A through the end. Like I feel like it was when people look at it. Obviously, it's skewed because of the start of the season, right? And the way the offense was called. In the utilization from not just you, but even Messiah Swinson too, right? Like all summer long and even in fall camp, all we heard was that the tight ends are going to get used. And I feel like that's what we heard. We heard with Curtis Hodges and guys that came before him.
Right.
And you leave at the end of the season and you're just like, dude, what the hell? We've had like 6'7", 6'6" tight ends sitting here the entire time. They go off in the summer and spring and fall, and then you never see them.
Yeah.
It's like, it's got to be frustrating for you.
Yeah, it was. Especially too, I think the first year I was here with Curtis was kind of the year I was like, dang, like, man, Curtis, like, in my mind, I was like, man, Curtis is like eating. Like, we could really throw him the ball like 8 times a game.
He's huge.
And he didn't get it. And I was like, man, it's kind of crazy. And then going into the season, even in the first spring ball, I'd had a good spring and I had a really good spring game and I didn't play very much, which I mean, understandable. We had a very veteran tight end room, so I kind of understood. But going into the next year, I was like, hey man, like it's me and Messiah, like let's roll, let's go. And it was kind of like Messiah was getting touches and I didn't get as much. And I was like, I mean, okay, I'm just gonna be patient. And it was frustrating. But I think obviously once the play calling changed and they're like, you know what, like these dudes can play. Let's give them the ball. Let's give them a chance. Because like worst comes to worst, you already saw what we do, like not getting the ball very much. Like why not throw it to us and see what happens? So I think that was the biggest thing is they finally got to see. And like even going into this year, I think we have such a big expectation now is like I went into spring, I mean me personally, and I think the whole tight end spring, I went into the spring wanting to literally like put it on the map that like, hey, I'm a dude and I'm going to prove it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what a lot of the tight end room do in terms of Bryce, Messiah, and even us all, everyone's coming in. So I think this year it's one of those years where we're going to say it again, and I think it's actually going to come to fruition. So, I would think for our Sun Devil Nation, obviously, to be excited and be ready in terms of just not even just the tight ends, the receivers, the quarterbacks, the whole defense. So I think it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. The reason I bring up not the issues, but the start of last season and the play calling and the offense in general is just because there's kids out there at the high school level that are freshmen, sophomore, juniors, seniors probably even, right, that are probably discouraged at this point, whether they're not starting, they're hurt, whatever, the same thing, the utilization in the offense. Like, how did you get through that, right? Like mentally waking up every day being like, I know I'm talented, I know I'm capable of so much, but at the end of the day, it's just not my time yet.
Dude, I like honestly, and this is crazy, and like this is just real. It was so hard. Like that, I don't think people understand how hard it is not playing, especially when you're a high school kid and you're playing every snap.
Yeah.
Like for me, I played both ways. I played offense, defense. I was on special teams. I was the punter. I was the kicker. Like it was different. And even going into OU, I think was a year. I was like, all right, like let's be real. I'm not the freshman of the year that's gonna be on the field and playing right away.
Yeah.
I had to accept that, and I was fine. I think the next couple years where I wasn't playing very much were the hardest ones because it was like, dang, like I think I've developed well. I think I look good, and like, and this isn't even fault to Curtis or anyone I played with, but it's just like I think I could be out there competing with those guys doing the same thing. So it's like one of those things where it's like you gotta eat it. You gotta use it as fuel. For me, I was waking up. I was discouraged. I wasn't getting the ball in practice, wasn't getting the ball in games, but it's just like, what can I do? It's like every time the ball gets thrown at me, catch it. Like that was my biggest thing was like every practice, like if I have a drop ball, I should like, I can't complain because that's I got to show a reason why I should be on the field. And I think again, going to the last spring, not this one we just had, the one before that, or no, sorry. The fall camp going into this past season was the part where I had a really good fall. I'd proved in blocking a lot, and I was like, listen, like I promise you put me on the field and give me a chance. I'm going to show you. And they were like, all right. And they played me a little bit, and they started to kind of stay where I was at, and I was kind of getting frustrated. And then I had a conversation with Coach Wood, and I was like, Coach Wood, like, can you tell me why I'm not on the field? And he was like, man, at the end of the day, like, you know what, like we see you developing, but it's one of those things where it's just got to keep going. You got to keep progressing. And I was kind of like, well, like when's the give or take? Do I get experience?
Like, what's that mean?
Yeah, like it's like at the end of the day, like the only experience I'm gonna get is getting on the field and playing.
Absolutely.
And I think literally like the Colorado game when I finally got to play more than, and what I tell people is like I finally got to play 5 or 6 plays in a row instead of playing 1 or 2 plays and coming out. And I got to get going. I got to get the motion going. And that was when they were like, Coach Garn was like, yeah, like keep him in. Like it was funny because I was already looking like, all right, am I coming out? And they're like, no. And saying, I was like, oh, bet, okay, cool. So it was like, I think that was just what got it started for me. And like, I guess the one thing I could say is like, you got to be so patient in college football now because there's transfers. Yeah. There's the older dudes that are just ahead of you and more experienced than you. It's hard. It's getting tougher and tougher and tougher for recruits to come out and play right away because of the transfer portal. Ever since the transfer portal hard, like why, like, and just realistically, why take a freshman kid that's not developed, not as big, not as strong, when you can go in the portal and find a guy that's played for the past 3 years and been in a system that can be ready and be prepared by season. So I think it's one of those things where it's like you got to come in and you either got to prove yourself right away that you can play as a freshman, or you got to be patient. You got to sit there and can't get frustrated. You got to get let me not say you can't get frustrated. You can get frustrated, but use it as fuel. Don't let it just sit there and like complain and talk behind people's back and be like, oh, I should be playing over here. I should be doing this.
And I feel like you got to have, and again, I feel like you got to have those conversations, right? Like that conversation that you had with Coach Wood, just being as simple as like, what do I need to do to go play? I feel like there are a lot of recruits and there are a lot of athletes in general, like not even just specific to football players at the college level, but high school as well, of just like, you can't be afraid to go have that conversation with your coach.
Yeah, you kind of got to man up. Like you got to realize too, like when you get in college, like you're an adult. Like you're on your own. Like your mom and dad can't go to the coach and be like, why isn't my baby playing? Like that's not how that works. So like for me, I finally had to learn like, hey, like I'm going to go to my coach. I'm going to ask him what I can do to be on the field. Yeah. And I went and asked him, and we had a good conversation. I have a good relationship with Coach Wood. I was like, hey, like, what can I do? And he's like, listen, like, you're getting better, but you got to keep getting better. And that was kind of where I was like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but this and that. And we did. Like, and obviously it's a lot of give and take. And it's like, it's your coach. So like, you can be, I was straight up with him. I was like, I think I could be playing right now. I was like, I think I would produce. I think I'd help. And they're like, all right. Like, and then finally I got to give a chance. I got a chance at Colorado. Obviously had a lot to do with Trenton too. Trenton was back there, and Trenton had a lot of trust in me since I got here. Yeah. When I was a backup, we were throwing with each other every day. So it was one of those things that finally stuff had just aligned right. Like a lot of times, like everything happens for a reason. Like I said, like everything aligned right that night. I felt good coming into the game. Trenton was the starter. I knew I was going to get to play a lot because of everything that had changed in the past couple of days, and from Washington game and UCLA and stuff like that. So like it was just a good feeling going in, and after that, rest was history, honestly. Yeah,
rest is history, and now Jalin Conyers is a top 5 tight end in all of college football. Before we continue the conversation, I want to tell you guys a little bit about BetMGM. They've got this really, really cool deal that they started last Friday, June 23rd. BetMGM players are now going to receive a bonus bet upon login to BetMGM Sportsbook every Friday for the next 3 weeks. That literally means just for logging in you guys are going to get free money. Claim period extends through Saturday and Sunday, so you got 72 hours to log in to claim that free money, and then another 72 hours to use the bonus bet after you log in. Log in at any point during the weekend and claim your bonus bet on the house. And if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use that bonus code PHNX. There's a few different offers depending on where you live, but for our Arizona audience, place your first bet offer and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets. Not 100, not 200, not 300, but $1,000 back in bonus bets. If it loses with BetMGM, again, make sure you use that bonus code PHNX. Check out the show notes for full details. And now you guys get to listen to the wonderful voice of Shane Diefenbach telling you about the disclaimer.
Disclaimer, 21 plus to wager. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in Washington, D.C., Mississippi, Nevada, New York, and Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369, New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, Arizona. 1-800-522-4700, Kansas, Nevada. 1-800-327-5050, Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF, Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help, Michigan.
And guys, when you win some money on BetMGM, you're going to be sitting there wondering what to spend it on. And aside from Arizona State football tickets for the start of the season, you
Go
guys
bet on the Sun Devils.
should be spending some of that money over at Four Peaks 8th Street Pub, whether that be the food or just the amazing beers that they have. Jacob, what's your favorite beer this time of year? You a WOW guy, a peach ale?
During the summer, it's got to be a WOW.
Yeah, it's a WOW.
Something really light because it's like a bajillion degrees outside.
I'm big on the peach ale, man. I think the peach
ale's
ale
good. You ever mix the two?
I haven't, but that quite literally sounds gorgeous. That's what it sounds like.
It
sounds gorgeous. It sounds like it would change my life. Have you?
Yeah, they're delicious.
A WOW and a peach ale.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
I get chicken tenders.
The chicken tenders are amazing.
Fire.
Guys, check out at Four Peaks Brew or at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. You do got to be 21 or older to drink Four Peaks, and please drink responsibly. Jalin, before I let you rant, because I know there's something, and I saw it too, and I've got some things to say. I want to close the conversation on your journey and your advice to some of these kids with what is the best and what is the worst piece of advice that you have ever received?
The best advice I ever received. Best advice I ever received. Man, that's tough, man. I think probably was, honestly, it's kind of what I go off every day. It kind of goes with the best and the worst. So the best is it does not matter where you came from as long as you're willing to put in the work. I think the biggest misconception, and this kind of goes with the worst. It's kind of combined right now. I think the worst advice I ever got was, hey, like you're from this school, like you're gonna have to be realistic. You're probably gonna have to go D2 or D3 or JUCO. Like that was kind of the
be realistic.
No,
is the worst piece of
basically, like honestly, and like I think that was the crazy part was. I mean, I can't like if you know anything about Texas football, I came from a 2A high school. I graduated with about 28 kids in my high school class. There were probably about 25 kids on the varsity football team, like sophomore through senior. So like it's like I came from a super small town. Like I mean, I'm talking. You know those towns you see on the TV that shut down the whole town when there's a football game on Friday night. That's what I was. That's what I was. And we didn't have the we didn't. I mean, and again, no hate to my teammates. This is just real life. We didn't have the best team. We didn't have the best team. We didn't have the best athletes. Like it's just one of those things. Or you're a small school, you're a small town. You got to make stuff work. And a lot of people told me like, hey, like if you think you're gonna go D1, like you need to be realistic with yourself. Like you're not. Like, and I think that was like the craziest part was like, when I finally got my first couple offers, I was like, dang, like I really can go D1. And like ever since I got here, I think a lot of people are like, hey, the Texas panel get recruited more because of you and this and that. And it's like. It wasn't because of me. It's because of guys like me. Like I might have had a part in it, but this town, like this area has always been able to have kids. Like I know a bunch of dudes that could have went D1 and wanted to and got told like they couldn't do it. So they went to a smaller school to play more or did this and did that. I think it's all about work ethic. I think it's all about like believing in yourself. Like at the end of the day, like I had to bet on myself. Like because like, I mean, honestly, where I come from, it's very casual. It's very known for kids to go to these schools and then leave the first semester or after a year. Like it was a very common thing, whether it was football, basketball, baseball. Like a lot of them did it. Like I know I have a lot of friends I grew up with that went to like school and went to go play sports and then ended up finishing out because they couldn't do it. And I think that was the hardest part for me was having to go in knowing like, and like I was going D1 compared to some of them going to different schools. Yeah. It was like, dang, like if they can't survive that, like, I don't know what this is finna be like. And I got there and I was like, bro, you know what? Like, I can hang. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take a lot of pain and probably a little bit of suffering. But, like, I got it done. And it's crazy because the best advice I ever got told was, like, bro, it does not matter where you come from. And, like, I know, like, there's so many dudes that played 7-man football, 6-man football, 8-man football in the league doing things that, like, I mean, I want to do. Like, it's not unheard of to come from a small school and be able to do that stuff. So I think that was the best advice. I think the worst advice was, honestly, you're right. Be realistic. Like, I think you should shoot for whatever you have in your head that you need to shoot for it.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't work out, go to plan B. If that doesn't work, go to plan C. If that doesn't work, go to plan D. After that point, yeah, probably should be a little realistic with yourself. But keep going for like what you want to go for. Because at the end of the day, if you don't really do it, like you're gonna miss 100% shots you don't take.
Yeah.
And I know it's a Michael Jordan quote, but I'm serious.
You gotta. It's turned into like a Monday motivation show, but like you like I feel like you there. And again, when you get to the high school level, there is so many kids that are dual sport athletes, or they are, the star football player, the star basketball player, and then they go on to college and they're just a guy on a roster. Like they're not the guys that you see on Saturday scoring touchdowns or in the Heisman conversation. And I feel like they give up really easily. And I feel like it's easier to give up now because the transfer portal exists, right? I don't get playing time. Perfect. I'm gonna hop in the transfer portal. There's a place for me. Like I feel like it's getting increasingly more difficult, but I think you are seeing with the athletes that do come out of it, right? That stick to where they're at. A Jalin Conyers, a Caleb Williams, who was a backup quarterback to Spencer Rattler. Like people forget that. And
took over midway through the season in the Texas game.
And now he's the best player in college football.
And and he's probably gonna win the Heisman again.
Surefire first overall pick, right? Like
no, absolutely.
You got to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, genuinely, someone's gonna have to have the best season of like their life in order to like take it over from him. And I know him, and like, dude, he just works, and like he even when he was at OU, bro, he was like he knew like coming in, he's like I could be the starter. It's like I know I'm gonna be patient, I'm gonna wait, but I'm gonna compete every day and go into practice like I'm the starter, and that was just his mindset. And then I remember watching it. The Texas game, and I was like, man, they're gonna put Caleb in. I was like, oh, they probably think they're good. But I was like, bro, Caleb's a dog, and sure enough, he came out, and then obviously the rest is history for him too. He's won a Heisman, probably gonna win it again, #1 overall pick next year. So it's doable. So like, I mean, it's just one of those things that, man, you gotta grind, you gotta be willing to stick with it. And if you're not, then honestly, the sport isn't for you. Yeah. Football isn't for you. Basketball isn't for you. None of it.
Just sports.
Not literally. Like in the transfer portal, it's just, man, the transfer portal makes everything so crazy now because it's just like, you're right. If I don't play, I'm gonna get in the portal because someone will take me.
Yeah.
But there's so many dudes lost in the portal right now. Like, go look. I don't know if there's a stat, but like, go look how many dudes are in the portal that you honestly have heard of. Like, the first one that comes to mind, and like, this is no hate to him at all. Eric Gilbert, bro. Eric Gilbert was the tight end ranked ahead of me in 2020, I believe. Like, dog, All-American, all this, like, super dude. Like, came in with Michael Mayer, and like, bro, and like, he's gone from LSU to Georgia, now to Nebraska. And like, dude, he's a dog, but he's just, I don't know. He can't seem to stick to one place. So I hope he obviously succeeds in Nebraska, but it's just one of those things where you got to stick it out and grind.
Yeah. And I feel like, I mean, and again, I can't speak from a coach's perspective, but I feel like at a certain point you see a player that's transferred a couple times. And if I'm a coach, I'm like, I don't know if I really want that, right? Like, I know you got the experience, but like, I want a guy that's committed to it. And like, if you're somebody that gives up after a year.
Yeah. I feel like there's two sides of it. I feel like there's a side that's like, oh, maybe he wasn't in the right situation 2 or 3 times. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. The first time I get, but
first time you kind of under. Second time you're like, oh, like okay, maybe, but like once you're hitting the third and fourth time of transfer,
like what?
Dude, like why?
Well, at that point, you're running out of eligibility
maybe too. It's not the school that's the problem at the end of the day, and like I feel like that's just what coaches' mindsets is going to be. Like it's not necessarily. It may not be you at all. It may be you ended up at 3 schools in 3 terrible situations, but they don't know that. Like so, it's just one of those things. Like again, you got to bet on yourself. You got to take your chances, and if you want to move, you can go ahead, move.
Yeah.
I'm not moving my stuff though. Boy, I moved twice. That was enough for me.
And you could work, you could grind, and you could still have haters. As we saw today with Super West Sports deciding to tweet some very, very interesting predictions, if you will. So Super West Sports tweeted this out, and it's 24/7 sports predictions for the 2023 Pac-12 football season, and it goes like this: USC 11-1, UW 11-1, Oregon 10-2, Utah 10-2. Oregon State 8-4, Washington State 8-4, and now this is the point where you could like, okay, maybe I'll see Arizona State somewhere in this next line, right? UCLA 6-6, nope. Colorado 5-7, Arizona 5-7, Cal 4-8, Stanford 3-9, and then at the bottom of the pack with Stanford, they've got Arizona State also at 3-9. And the way they have this working for Arizona State's schedule is they have them going 3-0 in non-conference, starting with wins over Southern Utah, Oklahoma State, and Fresno State. And then they have them losing every single conference game to Cal, Stanford, Colorado, whatever. What do you think about that, Jalin?
I don't know what it was so crazy because I saw that list and I'll be the first to tell you, like, I'll be honest with you. I don't let the list like get to me. Like, no, like whether it's a tight end ranking or a position ranking or football ranking, I don't let it get to me. I'm just like, I'm going to look at it because I want to know what other people think. Because like for me, like I've already gone over it. I like being the underdog. I've always been an underdog. That's cool. I like that. That's cool. This one bothered me for more reasons than like just me or just a team. Like this was like, to me, this is like insane.
This is disrespectfful.
Like I genuinely think this is insane. Like last year, we went 3-9 last year?
Yeah. We
went 3-9 last year. And we beat UW, Colorado, and who was the third one? I don't remember. Southern or whoever. NAU, right? Beat them 3. I completely understand last year. I get it. I'm like, that's over now. But bro, if you're gonna tell me you look at ASU's football roster, I gotta watch what I say. If you think you can look at ASU's football roster and think we're not beating at least Cal or Stanford, you are so far up something that I can't say that I don't even know what to tell you. First of all, if you got us, okay, first of all, let's go over this first. You got us beating, so the list, it had us beating Southern Utah first game. Then you got us beating Oklahoma State. You're telling me Oklahoma State is going to be worse than Cal, Stanford, and respectfully, possibly Colorado?
There's no shot. There's no shot.
Like what? And then San Diego State isn't even, or who we play? Oh, Fresno. Fresno State's not like that's not going to be a slouch. That's going to be a good team. They're going to be a good team. Yeah. They lost a quarterback. That's going to be a good team. Then we go, okay, I understand the USCs, the Washingtons, cool, whatever. Like we're going to get there when we get there. That's going to be games. But to say we're going to go 0-9 in conference play is insane. To say we're not going to win one conference game is insane. Like when you look at the roster, this talent we have, the talent that the defense has, the coaching staff we have, like, dude, you are nuts if you think that's like. If we go 3-9 this year, I'll retire. Honestly, like you can write that down, take a picture, take a video. If we go 3-9 this year, I'll retire from football.
It is seriously crazy when you look at
it's
the
just
fact.
Like, and like obviously I'm biased because I'm on the team and these are my teammates. But like, dude, like 3-9, like in 0-9 in conference play. Who was the last team to go 0-9 in conference play?
I don't even remember. 3-9 for ASU was one of the worst seasons in program history.
Like, let's be real, bro. We ain't U of A, dog. I'm gonna be real honest. We're not U of A, bro.
The crazy thing is, right? Yeah, I would agree. And again, right? Like I am biased in a sense because I cover Arizona State. Not as biased as you because you're on the team, right?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you straight up. But like this roster drastically improved from last season to this season.
And we were in games last year. Like,
that's what I'm
crazy
saying.
Part.
Is like you look at some of the games that you guys were in last year. You guys gave USC arguably the toughest first half they have had.
Thank you. We were in that game until the end, about the back half of the third quarter.
And again, the score 42-25 does not tell the full story of that game.
They scored 2 touchdowns late.
You were literally an inch from beating Stanford.
Yep.
If Elijah Badger has a shoe size smaller, you win that game.
And let's not forget, not to be rude, the coaching situation at the time.
Yeah. And you could argue that for the majority of the first half of the season. The Washington game that you guys did win, 45 to 38 in a quarterback
if we don't beat them, they're probably in the playoff because they're playing in the Pac-12 championship, and they could arguably win that. If they win that game, they're in the playoff.
And I know Michael Penix Jr. didn't finish that game, but for the majority of the game that he was playing, he's widely regarded as the second best quarterback or third best quarterback in this conference behind a guy like Caleb Williams and Bo Nix, right? So that was a dogfight of game. You scored 45 points on that team. You whooped Colorado, and again, 42-34 doesn't tell the full story of that game. If you watch it back, they scored garbage time points late. The UCLA game couldn't contain DTR. He's not even on the roster anymore, so I don't know why. That's another thing. Let's pull up the graphic one more time because you could have your issues with ASU being 3-9 and I'll listen to it. I've got other issues with this list. To tell me that you think Colorado is going to be 5-7 is, again, it blows my mind why people think Colorado is going to be as good as they think they are. They're one of the worst teams in all of college football. I personally, outside of Travis Hunter, TBD on Shador, I don't think that team is going to win 5 games. I think they're in the conversation with Cal and Stanford. UCLA at 6-6 drives me crazy because they, for so long, have been so average, and they were so average for so long with a super talented quarterback in DTR, and he's gone. So now you either have the backup or you have a freshman in Dante Moore starting, who you just have a question mark. But to tell me that they're going to sit there and win 6 games. Washington State lost its entire defensive staff to Arizona State.
Literally.
So to tell me that they're going to be 8-4, it's just they're so. And again, I know the predictions, and I know it's part of it is meant to stir conversation.
Yeah.
But
can you pull that up one more time? I want to look at one more thing.
Gosh, it's tough.
We got Cal at 4-8 and Arizona at 5-7. Can we I don't know what their schedules are.
I'll pull it up for you.
But you got Cal winning 4 games and us winning 3 games.
I'll pull up the Cal schedule for you right now.
Yeah.
You could tell me.
I want to know who their non-conference games are.
So they've got North Texas. Should be a win.
Should probably win.
They're going to lose to Auburn.
They're going to get destroyed by Auburn, most likely. So that's already 1 loss for them.
Then they've got Idaho, which
may probably win that.
I'll give them Idaho.
Yeah.
Let's give them Idaho. But they could. They could lose that game.
But oh my god,
they could lose that game. They're losing to Washington.
Yes.
I have Arizona State beating them.
We're beating Cal.
They're losing to Oregon State. They're losing to Utah. Holy shit, that's a tough stretch. They go from Washington to Arizona State
to Oregon State to Utah.
Oregon State to Utah to SC.
Yeah.
To Oregon.
Also, whoa! We're going 3-9 in 8 home games. Are you for real? 8
Not
home
a
games.
single conference win.
You're not giving us a conference win in 8 home games. We're playing. Hold on. How many home games we have in the first? We have 3 home games in non-conference.
Yeah, all your non-conference.
Okay, so we have 5 home conference games, and you're not giving us one. You're not giving us one of those games. Bro, be for real, dog. Come on, dude.
Cal is not winning. Cal at the most that I see is 3 games. And that's with a North Texas, Idaho, and Stanford. That's assuming they beat Idaho.
Who is us, BK 14? Are you 3-9? Or is there any other team that's 3-9?
I think Stanford. Stanford as well.
Oh, if you're from Stanford probably is going to go 3-9.
They might.
ASU's not going 3-9. I can promise you we're not going 3-9.
No, we're
more likely to go 2-10 than 3-9. Honestly,
I don't see a scenario where you lose every single conference game.
If you want me to throw in a realistic, if you want my opinion, and this is me personally, going into the season, I'm thinking undefeated. That's me personally. Just me. My
Colorado
mindset.
Colorado was 1-11 last year.
Okay, listen. I don't talk about Colorado very much because I respect Deion Sanders, what he done. And he played for the Cowboys, so I'm obviously a fan of him. Absolutely. It's just what he said in was it the team meeting where he said, "I'm bringing all my bags. Yeah, I'm bringing my bags, and they're Louis." Okay,
I'm bringing my own luggage.
I understand what you're saying, and you are confident in your players, and that's how you should be. I want Dilly to say the same thing about us. But Jackson State is not Pac-12, dude. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. That's just being realistic. And I'm not gonna lie. If Colorado goes 11-1 and blows us out of the water, then cool. This podcast is funny because everything I'm saying, I'm gonna have to. If I have to eat my words, I have to eat my words, and I'll take it like a man, and I'll say I said it because that's just my honest to God opinion, and I'm gonna stand on my opinion just like anyone else would. But it's just dude, it's not the same. It's not similar. It just blows my mind. I'm not trying to rant, but dude, 3-9 is just that just blows my mind.
Anytime you bring up Deion Sanders in Colorado, I always got something to say.
It's just, cool. Travis Hunter's a dog. Shador Sanders blew out of water. He's actually from Texas. He played Texas football.
Doesn't mean it's gonna work.
I'm not saying. I know. I agree.
It's
and whoa, can we go back for 2 seconds? They just lost their 2 best receivers, and one of them plays on our team.
Yeah, I feel like everybody forgot that we just took Colorado's best offensive weapon.
We got
from
Jordan
last
Tyson
season.
and Lotomius Craig, or whatever his name is at U of A. Arizona, the state of Arizona got the 2 best Colorado receivers.
Jackson State, by the way, lost their bowl game.
Also, let's just be honest here. If you think Travis Hunter is going to play both ways in the Pac-12 and survive and be healthy for 12 games, you're crazy too.
It's not happening. Not happening at all.
And let me say this, actually. He could probably do it, but being at a high level on both sides of the ball, not being tired, he would be the best player of all time if he could do it and be at a high level of both.
Oh, absolutely. In today's college football, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Where the pace is
it's so fast. And
so much faster.
And the Pac-12 is known for scoring points. Pac-12 low key this year is entering Big 12 territory of how much points we're going to score in games. I think, in my personal opinion,
it's the quarterback conference.
You got Oregon, Washington, USC. Honestly, and as much as you want to say it, us, bro. How many games did we score over 35? I don't know how many.
I'll tell you.
I don't know. I think we scored a lot in games over 35. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're right. And I think there was a certain point that I tweeted it last season where you guys only won games where you scored 30 or more points. Saying. You scored 40 against NAU. You scored against, what's the point total you're looking for?
Over 35.
Over 35. You scored 40 against NAU. You scored 45 against Washington State. You scored 42 against Colorado. You scored 36 against UCLA. You scored 35 against Arizona.
It's not like we're not scoring points. We were scoring points. That's 7 touchdowns. Sorry, I'm dumb. 5 touchdowns.
Math.
Sorry, terrible math on my part. That's 5 touchdowns. That's what I'm saying. This team is we're averaging. We probably averaged around 20 points, 20, 30 points a game.
And look, he's not a part of this. So, Coach, if you're watching, you did it with the offense that you had last season was garbage, man. It was garbage. It was slow. The pacing of it was never right. The timings were off. It was abysmal to watch. And now you stick the offensive masterclass of Kenny Dillingham and Bo Baldwin in there. Not to mention the fact that you're bringing back Sean Aguano, Coach Wade. It's going to look entirely different, and I don't even think Arizona State fans...
Elijah Badger's back.
I don't even think Arizona State fans understand the difference that you are going to see from this offense this year to the difference from last season's offense.
It's just dude, we are so explosive. And that's just me going from spring. We are such an explosive team. Athletes everywhere. The tight end room's athletic, the receiver room's athletic, the quarterback room is as much as y'all. And I'll be first one to say, y'all haven't seen T run, but just have faith, okay? If he needs to, he will. The quarterback's room is athletic, and then we're talking about a defense with a crazy scheme with a lot of dang near the whole DB core coming back. You got veteran linebackers, and we have a great D line. We're gonna be good. I'm not going to sit here and realistically, I know I told you not to be realistic, but that's about yourself. I'll be honest. Realistically, are we going to go undefeated? Most likely not. When was the last time a Pac-12 team went undefeated? Almost never. A long ass time ago. But we are going to be in the conversation. Because if you told me we beat Washington last year and you don't think we're going to hang in some of the games that we did, if you go look at a bunch of the games we played last year, we were in the game a lot of the time. Even whether it's the U of A game or the USC game or the Washington State game where we almost came back and won, we're in these games. We remember TV's. Yeah, and dude, Trenton can move. Whether it's Trenton, Drew, Jaden, Jacob, whoever the quarterback is, we're gonna be a good team. We're gonna whoever's back there is gonna help us win games. But at the end of the day,
not to mention you got a bunch of running backs too.
Oh,
that's another slept on position. It's another position group.
Carlos, Tevin, George. We have dogs in our offense. I'll say it. We'll average 35 a game. I'll say it.
I wouldn't put it past you at all.
I don't think there's going to be. There might be 1 or 2 games where we score 21, 20. That's just football. But I genuinely think if we're honestly could be one of those teams. If we're in a shootout, you better hang on because we're going to score points.
I believe it.
And Dilly is just Dilly and Bo dial plays, and we are ready to go.
It's exciting, man. It is super exciting, guys. Another super exciting thing is all the deals they have over at Circle K, whether that be energy drinks, iced coffee, beer, snacks. They've got it all over at Circle K, guys. And make sure you're not missing out on all the great stuff. Right now, text PHNX to 31310 to join their SMS subscriber club and get a buy one, get one free offer on 32-ounce Polar Pops. Head to circlek.com/store-locator to find Circle K's near you. Now you got your Circle K in hand. You're back at home. You're on your computer. You're on Twitter. You're watching us. You're going to click and you're going to open up one more tab and you're going to head over to the PHNX locker and you're going to become a diehard today to grab your membership. And when you do that, you guys are going to receive exclusive content, discounts on all the merch, access to the Discord chats. Not to mention, we've got some really cool events going on, whether that be the Diamondback takeovers, the next one happening here. Let's see. We have the next Diamondback takeover here, next month in July? Do we have any takeovers?
I think so.
I think so. Diamondbacks are a wagon, to quote the one, the only Sean DePaz. You're going to want to get out there.
Go watch a game.
You may see Conyers over here as a DH one day.
Dude, I will smack one.
I believe it. And our knockout nights, cornhole tournaments over at BetMGM, the first Friday of every month, guys. So go become a diehard. That's what happens when you're not a diehard, pretty much.
I got texted to do that.
Did you?
At Shane, shoot Totri with the Nerf gun.
Shane.
I did it. Did I get a cookie or something?
No, you don't get a cookie. Did anybody guess your middle name yet?
I don't know. I didn't look.
I saw Spencer. Is it
Nope.
Spencer? What was the other one? There was one at the
That
very
was
top.
literally the only guess in there.
There was another one. No, Scott.
That's it.
It's Scott.
Yeah, it is.
Jalin Scott.
Who's Alex D? I
Conyers.
feel like you've been. I don't know. I feel like I gotta verify that you don't know me.
Alex, you gotta
probably looked it up.
drop your. Can you look that up?
Yeah, you can probably. look it
You're
up.
big. You're not that big.
Look up Jalin.
Jalin Conyers' middle name.
Let's see.
There's no shot that pops up. I got.
Height, weight, net worth, age of birth. Oh, what's my net worth? I wonder what my net worth is.
I don't see.
You're an op. I'm not an op, but it's like if I shoot somebody, like I have to give a reason
Grubber?
why.
Who's Grubber?
Like I'm not Jaw, bro. Come on, bro.
Grubber. Yeah, I don't see your middle name anywhere. Why did
The
Jalin
last two
Conyers
times
transfer?
ASU had 8 home games and a head coach in his first 2 years, ASU won 10 games both times, 3-9 my ass. Hey, give me some. Yeah, yes, sir. No, he said no shot. It actually was Scott. So if I actually don't know, I will have been my you.
Oh my god.
What do you mean pause? What did I say? I didn't say anything sus.
Shane's at the airport with a beer in his hand. Don't even let him get
Gotcha.
you fired up here because it's time for a snake draft.
Heck yeah, son.
It's time.
I'm about to win my
for
debut,
a
baby.
Snake
About to
draft.
win my debut, baby.
Normally we do these on Wednesdays, but because the Deef is out and we've got the one, the only Corn himself here, I figured it'd be a good time to do a snake draft. So
Let's go.
today we are going to be snake drafting heroes and protagonists. The way Jalin put it was we're just drafting
Good
the best
guys.
good guys today. That's pretty much what we're doing. And because Corn is the what's the term here? The rookie. You're
Rookie.
you're the rookie.
Sure.
I'm gonna let you pick. Do you want the
Give me.
overall pick?
We're snaking, so give me second.
You want the second
I
overall
want the second pick.
All right, let's have us on the cam. That way we can edit some stuff later. Without further ado, or I guess you have to say it. You're the commissioner here. You have to
Well,
say I'm on the clock.
Without further ado, Anthony Totri is on the clock.
There we go.
There we go. A little late, little delay.
Just slight, Okay.
Okay.
Roger Goodell can
All
get
right,
it.
so first pick.
Oh man. Okay. This is just off the cuff here. The best good guy. First overall pick. This is real tough. I didn't prep for this, to be honest with you at all. Give me Simba. I'm going Simba. Simba's a good guy. Simba's fighting for his life. He's fighting for the pride.
okay.
He's fighting for all of the kingdom.
okay.
I'm taking Simba with
I
my
don't
first
hate
overall
that pick.
pick.
I don't hate it. See, now I'm gonna go like I haven't really prepared either, but I've been thinking about like I'm gonna take a whole different approach. I think I probably will go superhero at some point, but I think right now I think is where I get to like kind of sneak in. So my first pick is gonna be Rocky.
Ooh,
I
that's
like
a good
Rocky.
one.
I
That's
like
a good
Rocky.
one.
I like going Rocky here because
Best Rocky.
he's a best Rocky 4.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I just had to make
Rocky.
sure. Don't trust anybody that says
I think Rocky
anything other
in
than
every
4.
single movie he's a good guy. Like I think that's kind of the go. Now this is where it gets a little hard, and I really am trying to think.
This is so tough. I didn't even think
Like
about
I feel
how hard
like
this
I
would
feel
be.
like I could go superhero here and it'd be safe, but I want to do something out there that's like who's a known good guy. But when I also think good guy, this is also someone I think of, Indiana Jones.
Okay.
I mean, those are two good guys.
Oh, Indiana Jones is a good one. You're going old with some of these, man.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of, I'm trying to make it.
You're trying to really just.
I'm trying to think.
pander
I'm trying to
here.
think of heroes and movies I've watched.
That's tough. Okay, best good guys. I'm trying now. You got me thinking like favorite movies. I'm gonna be okay. You know what? I don't care if it's too early. I don't care, and it's recency bias for me because I just have seen this movie twice in the last week. Give me Miles Morales.
I knew Spider-Man was coming,
I had
bro.
to take Miles Morales.
I
Like
knew
that
it.
is just.
Is that Spider-Man though,
Yeah,
or is
that's
that Miles
Spider-Man.
Morales?
Oh,
Okay,
that's
Miles
that
Morales.
specific.
Okay,
He is Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
It's just a
specific
different
Spider-Man.
universe of Spider-Man.
Okay, that's fair.
Phenomenal fucking movie, by the way.
I need to go watch it. I haven't watched it yet. I need to go watch it.
I saw it the first time and I was like, okay, it's one of my favorite Marvel movies, and then I left
I don't
the
know,
second
bro.
time and I was like, my favorite
right
movie.
now, the Spider-Man with all three of them in it has been my favorite so
This
far.
movie, have you seen the first one of these?
Yeah.
Okay, just
Watch the
watch
second
it.
one.
Dude,
Okay.
Yeah, trust me. Watch it a second time. And you
Okay.
gotta do it in theaters.
Gotcha.
Okay. On the way back,
This is
who
tough,
am I gonna
bro.
take here? I'm trying to again. I gotta think like my favorite movies of all time.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to think.
Okay. This is taking a turn, and I'm gonna get. I know I can get this guy later, but I can't like think off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of some of like my favorite.
I have like a good. I have my next pick already. Like I had it set already. I'm trying to think about my fourth pick here.
Oh, this is so tough, dude. This is way tougher than I thought it was gonna be. Oh, Jacob, do you have one in your mind that like you could think of? And I don't need you to tell me. I'm just curious if you have like a plethora in your head of like.
I've been
Of good
trying to
guys.
think, and it's so hard because you're like, well, you don't want to be basic and go with all superheroes.
That's
No,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
I
that's
don't
what I'm
wanna
saying.
go
I
all
want to be different.
superheroes.
I don't want to go all superheroes.
Oh my
And,
god!
like I can't even think of any right now. Like I'm literally just trying to think here.
I'm over here really struggling. Okay, this is just because I can't think of anything else. Give me Mike Lowry. Give me Mike Lowry from Bad Boys. He's a good guy.
Okay.
He's a good guy. What?
Did I spell it correctly down at the bottom there?
Michael Lowry.
Yeah, that looks about right.
Is that how it goes? That's what I say.
Mike Lowry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Oh,
This
bro.
is so
This
tough.
is a hard one. Okay.
I know Shane's gonna clown.
Okay.
me
This
for
isn't
that
really this isn't a hero, but he's a great guy and he's a good guy. And if you think of, okay, who's a good person in the history? Give me Mickey Mouse.
pick. Oh, I hate you. You're gonna win off that one pick.
Mickey Mouse, man. That's a good. See now here, this is a little tough,
Oh,
bro.
okay, I got one.
This is tough. I don't know. Do I stick with movies here?
Ooh, this is tough, bro.
I think if I stick with movies here, I think I have a chance. I don't know, dude. I'm trying to think of a superhero that isn't basic.
This is one of the toughest drafts we've ever done.
Yeah, I'm literally lost right now. Shoot.
I got one. Oh, and I'm back to back on the next two.
Okay, so I have to. This is huge. This is a huge pick right here because this has to be like. All right, who's a good guy, guys?
You got a
Who's
big
good
three
guy?
right now. You got to be
I
able
do
to
have
find.
a great
you have a
three. I have to
phenomenal
finish
three.
out with like as long as they're like somewhat good. Give me James Bond. James Bond.
He's got some heavy hitters.
James
dog.
Bond is a good guy that gets the job done, man.
You got some real heavy hitters, and I think it's gonna translate.
Totri, yeah, I think you're screwed.
I think I am too. He's got such a big four. It's crazy. Okay. Give me Hercules.
Oh, that's a good one.
Give me cartoon Hercules. Okay,
a
phenomenal
good one.
movie too. And you know what?
That's a good one.
I'm gonna go. I don't want to take any of the basic ass. Like we got Alex in the chat. Forrest Gump, Superman. I don't want to take any of those.
Dude, Forrest Gump was gonna be my next pick. Why'd you say it? Bro.
I don't know
you
if I
can't do that,
I don't
dog.
know if I want Forrest Gump though, dude.
Forrest Gump is.
Oh, I
that
just
was-
had one in my head.
That was
and
gonna
I-
be my heavy fifth because he's a great guy. He's done nothing bad. All right, I'm not gonna take him now though because you said it.
I'm not gonna. I don't think I want him.
Sorry, I'm not gonna take him either because I feel like if you said him, it kind of
Superman, The Mandalorian, Nemo, Keanu Reeves. I know Neo from The Matrix is definitely
That's
a
a good-
solid
that's a good
pick. He's definitely a good guy.
Oh, I know who I'm going with. I got it.
Is
boys.
John Wick a good guy?
I mean, he's a good guy. He kills a lot of people, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, I mean, so does James Bond.
though.
James
So
Bond
you could go.
definitely
You could go.
just murks
You could go.
people.
That's what you could go there. Though.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm between. Ooh, give me Harry Potter. I'm taking Shane's. Yeah, give me
That's a
Harry
good one.
Potter. That's such a solid. So I needed somebody to bring me back into the conversation of the heavy hitters
Bro.
that you have.
This one, I think this one puts it away because if you know me, you know why I'm picking this. This is near and dear to my heart.
Oh God, who are you picking?
John Cena.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, you cannot
Just
tell
leave
me
it
he's not a
blank.
good guy.
Leave it fucking
You
blank.
can't tell me that's not a great guy. He Make-A-Wish legend, most ever, best wrestler ever. Never like. Oh, I think I might have. This might be a W.
I think
This might be a W.
I think you beat
and
my
he's
ass.
technically an actor. Like technically, he's an actor.
Can I put this on the screen for people to
yeah,
see
you
now?
can put it on the screen now. Yeah, I think you beat my ass, to be honest with you.
You gotta
No,
put John Cena on
yeah,
there.
it's
Oh, you can't see him?
No, you
Yeah.
can't see him.
So my list is wildly
But when you put it on the thing, you're
unlucky.
Cena, right?
So I got Simba, Miles Morales, Mike Lowry. I know I'm going to lose some people with that pick, but it's one of my favorite movies. Hercules and Harry Potter. And Jalin over here has got
Rocky.
some of the biggest people in all of fucking film. He's got Rocky, Indiana Jones, Mickey Mouse, James Bond, and John Cena.
Can't see him.
God, that's a crazy list that you...
Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
Hey,
y'all
you
might
did
have to
well.
start,
You did well.
Y'all might have to start having me on Snake Draft because I really might win these things.
We can make it a thing. Just make some time out every Wednesday at like 2:50.
I got you, bro.
God damn, that was such a good... Damn you, that was...
The best thing was like the first two picks. I was like, all right, those are locked. Those are the ones I know anything about. Told you your list is. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it might be. It might be the way I drafted it, to be honest with you. I know I'm going to lose people on the Mike Lowry pick, but I love Mike Lowry. I love that movie. Before we get out of here, another thing that I know me and Jalin both love, Illegal Pete's. Guys, kick off your week with Margarita Monday over at Illegal Pete's. It's exclusive to Arizona locations. They got $3 margs all day, every Monday. Nothing brightens up that Monday mood more than soaking up the sun with a couple margs. And if you're not into drinking on Mondays, that's okay, because tomorrow over at Illegal Pete's is Taco Tuesdays. $2 tacos all day, every Tuesday. Enjoy your favorite, whether it be chicken, pork, and veggie tacos for just $2. So swing by and start your week off the right way over at Illegal Pete's. Alex out here grading the picks. Jalin with 5 A's. I got A, B, C, D, A. That's
5
crazy.
A's, baby.
That is crazy, Alex, that you think Miles Morales is a B. That tells me you haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie. The Miles Morales pick is an A. It's graded as an A.
That might be the best draft I've ever had.
That might be
I've
the best
drafted,
draft
like,
we've
a
ever
lot of
had on the
things.
network.
I've had a lot of drafts. I've done like a lot of draft things in terms of heroes. Like
I'm
you
going to
look
vote
at-
for you.
You look at those those 5, and you're like, man, those are all good guys. They're all heroes. They've all done what they need to do. So
I really need to get better at my drafting strategy, because I have, over the last month, I've gotten my ass kicked badly.
I feel like if you would have prepared, you could have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
Would you have taken any of my picks?
So
So you think if you
Totri
looked at the list?
I think,
has
yeah, I
been
love the Rocky
beaten
pick.
by people who don't prepare.
Yeah.
You didn't prepare for this.
No.
No. Shane never prepares.
Normally I prepare and I
Really?
kill
He
it.
has people, he literally polls people. Like he'll go to
I got
people.
scouts. I
I'm
got
not gonna lie.
scouts.
As soon as you texted me, I was like, "Who's a good guy?" And I was like, "Oh, Rocky was the first one that came to mind."
I almost drafted Apollo Creed just after you drafted
Ooh,
Rocky.
that would have been. Nah, you had it done. You had it done, Little Creed. You had it done, Little Creed, because technically Apollo Creed was a bad guy for a little bit.
Yeah, but he was fun. You rooted for Apollo.
Not till the third episode.
The Mike Lowry pick is quite possibly one of the worst picks that's ever been made
You
in
think?
a draft.
He's a good guy. Have you seen that movie? You seen Bad Boys?
Probably a long time ago.
Oh.
I was
God.
gonna go. My other one, like my little backup one, was gonna be the Will Smith from I Am Legend. Because he's trying to save humanity.
Yeah, I drafted Will Smith, bro, and I drafted Will before he started slapping motherfuckers. So I'm chilling on that. Guys, that's gonna do it for our show today. If you enjoyed the content, you can give the show a like and a follow at PHNX _Sun Devils. You can follow me on social at Anthony _Totri. You could follow Jalin at The Real J Conyers. Jalin, any final message before we get out of here, man?
ASU's not going 3-9. That's probably the biggest thing I could say. But other than that, man, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Always.
Y'all make sure to tune in on Wednesday for my podcast, where we might have to have Totri come on ours, and I might have to start a little draft series.
Totri can produce yours this week.
Oh yeah, is that what's gonna happen? You're gonna teach me how to produce stuff?
Okay, there we
Okay,
go.
start putting the graphics.
I'm not gonna
are
lie,
not
I
gonna
might
work.
have to start a little draft on mine, and we'll have to go Jalin versus fans and Jalin versus guest.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, I could go undefeated in these drafts. I think like a lot of them, like because I be coming in here talking about the picks, and I'm
Wow. Yeah.
Anthony Midtree
That's crazy.
is crazy.
That's absolutely crazy.
That's foul. Shane,
I'm
Go.
gonna have you settle something, okay? Because Shane's got a bunch of nicknames that he doesn't like, okay? And so I want you to tell me which one that we're gonna have to just leave with him, and he's gonna that's gonna be his nickname, okay? So we've got 3. We've got the Deef and Beef. He doesn't like it. He also doesn't like Mustachio, which was
Mustachio.
provided from somebody in the chat. And then my personal favorite is Lil Purr.
See, it's weird because it's just like I think you have to go something with the last name because the first thing I think of when I look at that last name, I don't know why. This just might be the immature person in me, but I feel like I could just say you can Diefenbach these nuts. Like that's what I automatically think of like when I see his last name. So it's like you know like it's got to be something. So I'm a fan of the Deef and the Beef, Deef and Beef.
Beef and beef?
Deef and
It's
Beef's
Shane
pretty tough.
Diefenbach, and that's all it'll ever be.
No. No, today's the day.
Diefenbach.
None of
Jalin,
these are good.
when are we having him try to lock you up?
Oh, dude. What was that? Oh, he was like,
We're gonna come out here and D you up.
D you up, dude. That was
That might want to be the greatest moment
that
in
was
this
the
show's history.
funniest, dude.
That
I laughed
show.
for 30 minutes.
The immediate
straight.
pause.
Yeah,
The immediate
I said it right
pause.
after, dude. I had to say it because it was insane. Like I heard it and I was like, bruh. Like if y'all, dude, I don't know what episode that was, but please go back and watch it. Might have been.
It was the NCAA tournament post game.
Yeah.
NCAA tournament show. Shane Diefenshot. No.
That's too
Oh,
nice.
you could be Shane Doofenshmirtz from like Phineas and Ferb. You could roll with that. I ain't gonna lie. I might change your name to that today.
Oh God,
Shane Doofenshmirtz, Evelyn Incorporated.
guys, we'll see you Tuesday.
Oh, I should have went Phineas and Ferb.
That's
They're
a good
great
one. Or
guys.
Perry the Platypus.
Oh, Perry would have been a good
Real
one.
good, real good. All right,
Ma-
guys. Or
maybe
Kenny. You
villains?
could have drafted Kenny.
Maybe villains next time.
Land the
I'm
plane.
down. I'm down. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. But for now, peace.